Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, you're welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, you're welcome as well. In today's video, we are going to learn how to cut this Bubu kaftan dress with a tight waistline. So if this is something that interests you, kindly watch this video to the end. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. So right here is the fabric I'm using, and I'm also using this net and the velvet bias, okay? And here are the trimmings and stones that I'm going to use to design the neck area. So I'll folded this fabric into 4 because I'll be cutting the front and back together. So I'm going to mark the starting point line. Okay, you need to mark out your starting point line so that I can also take the sewing allowance from there. So the next thing you're going to do after taking the starting point line is to take the length of your gown, and the full length I'm working with is about 56 inches plus 1 inch folding allowance. I'm going to mark 57, so I'm going to be marking 57 here. Sorry that my camera couldn't capture the length of this fabric. So for the width of the fabric, I have about 23 inches here, and I'm using the whole width of this fabric. So the next thing now is to mark out the neck width, and I'm using 4 inches. Remember, this Bubu does not have either zipper or button. And the neck depth for the back is 1 inch. Neck depth for the front is 5 inches. Okay, so I'll go ahead now and connect it. You can mark it as a square first before taking your curve so that it's easy for you if you're a beginner. So here, this is it. So after covering the neckline, on this part here, I'll come down by 1.5 inch for the shoulder slope. So after marking 1.5 inch, I'll connect it to that 4 inches neck width. So after doing that, the next thing you're going to do now is to mark out our sleeve opening. So from that slant, I'm going to mark about 10 inches. You can mark 10 inches, you can mark 9 inches. So I marked 9 inches for the sleeve opening because I don't want it to open too much, and I added extra 1 inch sewing allowance there. So I went in by 2 inches. Okay, 1 inch is going to be the folding allowance. So by the time I take the folding allowance, that means I'm going in by 1 inch. But because I already added the 1 inch allowance, so I went in by 2 inches, and go ahead and curve it all the way down. So that means that 2 inches, you take it all the way down. Okay, so you can go ahead and cut it the way it is, but I want the lower part to be a little bit slanted. Okay, I want it to be slanted. So what I'm going to do now is to go in at the lower part. So I'll go in at the lower part by about 4 inches. Okay, and then I'll take this slant from that lower part to the top here. Okay, to where I had the the sleeve opening. And now I'll start cutting this out. You can see what I was explaining here before. Okay, if you want to leave it straight, if you don't want to slant it, you can leave it straight. It's totally fine. So after cutting, this is what I have. So I'm going to, so when you fold it, this is what you have when you fold that lower part, when you fold that sleeve opening, okay, by the folding allowance. So what I'm going to do now is to mark the waist measurement, that is the half length. Okay, and I'm marking 16 inches. So after marking it, you're going to measure out the quarter of our waist measurement. Okay, and then you're going to place it here. You will repeat the same thing for the other side. Turn it to the other side and repeat the same thing on the other side. You mark out the half length or the waist, and then measure the quarter of the waist here. And I'm going to be adding belts to both the front and back so that you can have the waist effect on either the front and at the back if you want. So anywhere you want the waist to be, you can, you know, tie the rope there. So right here I've removed the back. Okay, and right here I'm cutting off the front neck. So for the rope, you can use 30 inches as the length of the rope. Okay, you can use 30 inches as the length of the rope. So right here I'm placing the neck on a pattern paper so that I can trace out the design on the neck area. Just watch what I'm doing. After tracing out the neck on the pattern paper, trace out the shoulder where you want the shoulder to stop. I think the width of the shoulder is around 3 inches. I want it to stop around 3 to 3.5 inches. Okay, that's the width of the shoulder I used. So remove the front pattern, and then I'm going to mark about 8 inches here from the shoulder line, and then connect it with my free hand like this. So after connecting, this is what I have. You also connect the shoulder area, connect it down here as well, and then go ahead and cut it out. I forgot to mention both the front and back neck, I added half an inch sewing allowance to it because I'll be turning the neckline with facing. So that I added half an inch sewing allowance. So I'm going to place the pattern paper on this net and then use this net to trace out. So I added extra about, let's say, half an inch to the net because I wanted it to be longer than what I cut out on the pattern paper. So right here, you're going to place this on your fabric. Okay, make sure you've used your fabric to cut out your facing, both the front and back. And for you to have something very nice, you're going to place your hemming gum in between the fabric and this net. When you put your hemming gum here, it will be very, very firm on your fabric, and it will even be easy for you to sew these velvet bias. Okay, so once you've sewn this on the neck, you're going to add this velvet bias to it. After adding the velvet bias, go ahead and add your facing to both the front and back, and then join the front and back at the shoulder area. I hope you understand. So guys, right here I have attached the net on the fabric using my hemming gum to make it firm. I've also added the bias, I've sewn the bias on it, and I've also used my facing to turn both the front neck and the back neck, and then I also join it at the shoulder area. I'm still going to use my hemming gum to glue this facing to the fabric so that it's not popping out when my client is putting it on. Okay, you can see, and I've also ironed my stones on it. I'm still going to add the other appliques on it later on. Okay, make sure you use your hemming gum to glue your facing on the fabric. Hemming gum is very, very important. So the next thing now is I've also attached the rope on both the front and back. Like I said, I want to attach the rope on both the front and back so that my client can decide which part of the body she wants to tie the rope, either at the front or at the back. So the next thing now is to go and fold in my sleeve opening by the 1 inch sewing allowance by folding half an inch twice. Okay, I'll be doing it for both sides. Once you are done doing that, sew it on the side. Okay, taking the side seam allowance, you do it on both sides of the gown. So after sewing the side seam allowance, I'm going to take the hemming allowance as well. I'm going to sew the hemming allowance and then give it a good press once I'm done. So this is the final look of my dress. I've attached all the other appliques to it, and this is how beautiful it is. Thank you for watching this video to the end. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up so that YouTube can recommend this video to other viewers, and make sure you subscribe as well. I'll see you guys in my next tutorial. I hope you enjoyed this. Bye.